You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
From Stewart to Sweden, this is Small Biz Florida with Tom Kindred.
Thank you, sir, and welcome to another segment and installment of Small Biz Florida. The podcast and broadcast is all things business from Stewart to Sweden and the entire state of Florida.
We got an email.
You did?
And this guy actually taped our station. It was, it's during the late night hours when the radio waves go crazy. Okay. And you could clearly hear the WPSL Port St. Lucie ID. It was great.
I wonder if we I might need to hire some consultants over in the Sweden area. You'll go, Cliff? That's good.
I can speak Swede.
Swedish? Yeah. We call them our Swedish meatball.
That's right. Small Biz Florida is brought to you by the Florida Small Business Development Center Network and is produced by the Florida SBDC right here at Indian River State College. Small Biz Florida is designed and produced to highlight and promote business assistance, resources, and celebrate entrepreneurial success, present best practices, and most importantly, provide timely business information for Florida's small business owners and operators. I am Tom Kindred. I am not Swedish, and I serve as the regional director for the Florida SBDC at IRSC. And as I like to tell folks all the time, I do indeed have the scars of 25 years of small business ownership. So the mission of our show this evening is simple and clear. Make sure small business owners are aware of all the powerful business assistance programs available to help them start, grow, and succeed along the Treasure Coast.
And 5.5 years worth of scars from this show.
That's right. That's right. Long. I still don't believe you.
Yeah, it's going to be 6 years right after the first of the year.
I think you count in dog years.
Maybe they are dog years.
I don't know.
I just feel like dog years.
If I have been here 5 years.
No, this year feels like dog years.
Long time. Well, it's nice to know tonight we have some young people with us tonight on the show. We've got our very good friend, Helene Castletine from Indian River County. Thank goodness we have some young people on the show with us tonight. Helene, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tom. I was wondering who you were talking about.
Yes. But as always, I kind of want to start again by just reminding everyone that, especially those of you who own and operate small businesses across the Treasure Coast, all the Small Business CARES Act grant programs are still in place. St. Lucie County is still active. Indian River County is moving into phase 2. And we're going to talk to our good friend Helene about that in just a couple minutes. Okeechobee County is still working. I spoke to Megan Smith today. She is still working to wrap up applications, and I do believe Martin County is still offering their program. I have not heard that they have exhausted their funds yet, so I think they are still there. So it is important, if you are a small business owner and operator, that you check out the eligibility requirements for all these grants. And if you are eligible, you need to take the time and effort to apply. The CARES Act money was given to the counties to help, respond to this disruption in the marketplace from COVID-19. And I've been very impressed and pleased that our counties, all our county governments, were innovative in creating small business grant programs. So I think they're really doing the right thing to try to help small businesses. They understand the importance of small business to their local economy and marketplace. So these are good programs. And so I want to make sure that everybody remembers that this is all still going on.
Well, and your folks at the SBDC battening down the hatches at the headquarters again. Huh?
Oh, come on. tell me.
Another hurricane.
Well,
Wow.
yeah, I know. And they really didn't expect that last one. That one really caught them off guard. So yes, it was interesting. We got calls from HQ in Pensacola, and some windows were blown out in the office, water in the office.
I bet.
Yeah. So it was, we were, they were out of touch for a couple of days. So what is the latest? I have not seen the news today. What's the track?
Well, it looks like it's going to go straight into Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Wow.
It's as if they need that. This will be the
Right.
second time in 8 days
I know.
for them.
Wow. What a year for the Gulf Coast. I
Well,
mean,
we went through it in 2004.
well, we did. Flew down 4. I mean, we
Francis and Jean.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, on the other coast, Charlie and Ivan in the Panhandle too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
Oh.
we can empathize with what's going on up there. So sorry to hear all that. And so yes, but we'll keep our friends in our thoughts here. Our headquarters up in Pensacola for the Florida SBDC program. So I have a mobile disaster response unit here in Fort Pierce. So you never know. I may get the call. I may have to jump in the mobile office and head to Pensacola, but we'll see. So
Wow. What a year.
all right. And also I want to remind everyone that as I did last week, the CCTI, the Corporate and Community Training Group, is just like the college, is back up and functioning. We're conducting classes, conducting trainings,
On campus. Cool.
live, face to face. Obviously, practicing all the right procedures and
Sure.
processes, social distancing and mask in the building. But we are back to live classes. Bob, I just spoke to Bob today. Got a big weekend of process server classes over the weekend, and got some big classes tomorrow. Susie Klein with the CCTIs got the BAT program going with the city of Port St. Lucie. Got some other things going on with the city of Port St. Lucie and some local corporate groups. So there is training has begun again as we look hopefully towards the future and maybe again some business normalcy. Next issue of Treasure Coast Business Magazine will be on the shelves here in probably another week. Got a great story about retail across the Treasure Coast and how retailers have gotten innovative in dealing with the COVID issue. Got some great stories in the magazine about issues dealing with business and COVID, dealing with remote work force, dealing with 504 loans and some SBA loan issues. So again, you want to make sure you get a copy. The last 3 issues have been really good resources for businesses as we deal with this disruption in the marketplace. All right.
Wow. Yeah. It's been quite a year. That's
Yes,
all
it
you can
has.
say.
I want to quickly get to our very good friend, Helene Castletine, a legend in our parts and across the state of Florida in economic development. Helene, how long have you been the director of economic development with the chamber up in Indian River County?
Tom, I have been here 17 years.
Wow.
In fact, as of October 1st, 17 years.
She started when she was 2.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
That's right. She's started as an intern in high school.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Sure.
Helene, you truly are a legend up there, and you've done some incredible work. And I cannot thank you enough for our relationship, your support of the Florida SBDC. And, every day I'm more and more impressed with what your group has done in Indian River County. And I'm so impressed with your commitment to the small business community. You have spearheaded this whole project. And again, we got to give the county credit. I'm again very impressed with Indian River County, the county commission, the chairman, Miss Adams, and really innovative thinking in putting this money back into the community in the small business grant program.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll tell you, Tom, the SBDCs have always been near and dear to my heart. I've been in economic development for over 30 years. And I've always had a really good working relationship, close relationship, no matter where I was in Florida. with the SBDCs. They're first up. Anybody who asks me, where can I go to help? Go for help, SBDC. That's it. Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little specifically about, again, Helene, you and the team at the Indian River County Chamber have done an incredible job of supporting the small business community through this grant program. I know you and John are out on the streets. If there's a missing document here and there, something you are getting out. You're helping us follow up with getting the right documents for these grants and making sure that everything's in order as we submit them to the county for approval. Obviously, multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars have already hit the streets through the Indian River County CARES Act Small Business Grant Program. So again, you are to be applauded and thanked, and as well as the entire team at your Indian River County Chamber in support of this program. So great work up there. I know, listen, the unsung heroes, I'm telling you, we're getting calls from businesses now that are really appreciative of what's going on, and for a lot of folks, this is a lifeline that could get them to the other side of this thing.
Absolutely. These guys are a lot of them are just hanging on by a thread, really.
Right.
And it truly is. It's a lifeline for them. And to some of the larger businesses, $5,000 might not seem like a lot, but when you only have two employees or 5, you're a mom and pop. Yeah, that'll make the difference on whether you pay rent this month or not, or pay your employees or whatever it is, pay your utilities. So yeah, it's really making a difference.
So here's how it all worked in Indian River County. You had what we called sort of a phase 1 type program where you addressed kind of a specific part of the market, really one of the hardest hit parts of the market, the hospitality industry, bars, restaurants, small bed and breakfasts type businesses that were forced to close in that
tour operators, travel agents.
Yeah, exactly. So did some great work in getting some money out to those folks. Now the county has kind of opened up what you're calling kind of phase 2. You want to talk just a minute about that phase 2?
Sure. Yeah, we've already, the county has already sent out $175,000 in checks to our local businesses. There's a lot more yet to come. So that first appropriation is pretty much spoken for, the $370,000. But yeah, the second allocation, our county commissioners were very generous. They allocated $500,000 to phase 2. So at $5,000 per grant, you do the math, that's 100 businesses, 100 additional businesses, and the county expanded the eligibility for businesses because, like you said, Tom, we focused on hospitality to start with because they really, really were the hardest hit. But now we've expanded it to those kinds of businesses that they too were forced to shut down during the early stages of the pandemic. Some of them could only open at 25 or 50%, but we've expanded. So now it's nail salons, hair salons, the venues that were hosting big events that all got canceled. The peripheral type of businesses like the florists, the lighting, the musicians, anything that was related, caterers that was related to those big events that got canceled. They're all eligible to apply to the program now. Plus there's some other types of industries that the county felt it was necessary, like some, I'm just gonna look at my list here. Some of the stores, even like souvenir stores, because, we didn't have any visitors there for a while.
Right.
Art dealers. So some of the retailers here in town are gonna be eligible to apply. Of course, the final approval is going to be up to the county. There's a group of staff people over there who are doing the final review of these applications, and they then process, and they actually, the checks come out of the finance office, the clerk's finance office. So, but the county has final approval, but you and I do our review, make sure everything is there. There is documentation that's required. We just got to make sure everything is in the packet before we send it over to the county so they can, quickly turn it around and get that check out.
Helene, I've got a question for you. Any idea how many of the businesses have managed to get through all this madness?
You mean through the program or just in general?
In general in Indian River County.
Oh boy, I have no idea. I've seen signs that a business has closed or soon to be closed. Some of the restaurants didn't make it, which is really sad.
Yeah.
Especially like the patio restaurant. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
it's been
that's
there
an
for
institution.
94
Yeah.
years. I know.
Decades.
Yes. So that was so sad to see, but they were closed. So, but yeah, some of the retailers too, specialty retailers,
Right.
they have since closed their doors since the pandemic started. And that's really sad to see too.
Yeah.
But no, I don't have a number.
And I want to also point out too, that this is not, this is not some sort of, high level federal, loan application that's, 25 pages long. That's really complex. I mean, it's a pretty simple, straightforward application. Any small business owner that's running legitimate small business should be able to produce these documents very quickly. It's basically your SunBiz, verification that you're registered with the state of Florida. You're basically your local license, your driver's license, a list of your employees. And then a completed and signed W-9 form. I think the most, probably the most complex request is the documentation that shows and demonstrates loss,
Right.
from the COVID. But again, pretty simple and straightforward for a business that's got a basic accounting software, QuickBooks or something. Simply, it's a comparison of this same period last year. What did you do in 19 and what did you do in 20? Obviously, most of these businesses did a far less in revenue in 20, and that's pretty simple, right? I mean, is that kind of it, Helene, the overview of what they
It
got?
is. I would say probably the toughest hurdle is getting the financials put together because, actually some of these businesses are so small. They don't have a CPA. They don't have access to a CPA. They don't even have QuickBooks. So we're talking with them about, maybe copies of your bank statements to show, for the last 3 months or 6 months, you had no business deposits compared to a year ago where you were doing pretty darn good,
Right.
Something like that. That's what the county wants to see is a comparison of this period versus this period in 2019.
Right.
Now, we've come across a few businesses that, didn't open until like June or July of 2019. So
Right.
that's been a little bit of a challenge too.
Right. Well, again, and as you pointed out earlier, it is it's $5,000, and I know at a quick glance that doesn't sound like an awful lot, but again, for a small business owner and operator, a small coffee shop, a small luncheon cafe,
Right.
that's like you say, that's 2 months rent, 3 months rent. I mean, that's 4 or 5 months of utility bills. I mean, so it is meaningful. And so it is a great program, and it's just not that difficult to get involved and take advantage of the program. As you said, you and John and myself and Frank, we're gonna press Frank into action up in Indian River County on this phase 2. And so if anyone needs assistance in maybe putting this together, we're happy to help you.
Absolutely.
And you can it's very simple. Again, I think we finally worked out our technology issues, but if you go to the FSBDC, well, excuse me, I'm wrong here. I'm going to confuse everybody. You go to the IRSCbiz.com site, and if you click on the SBDC, there's an Indian River County icon there. You click on Indian River County, and there's the application. There's a link at the bottom. You simply click on the bottom, and the application downloads in Word. You can simply fill it out and then get it scanned back in. And again, I know sometimes scanning is tough for a small business, but again, call us. or
Right.
email us. And that's the email address, which is fsbdc@irsc.edu. Or you can always call us at the 336-6285 and talk to Katie. And one way or the other, Helene, myself, Katie, Frank, we will be there to help you get your application filled out and completed.
And Tom, I'll tell you, if they want to come into our chamber building, which is, that building that's right behind me, if you're watching a video, if they want to come downtown Vero and come into our building, we'll scan their stuff for them. No problem. That's what we're here for, is to help the small businesses. And I will say that information is on our economic development website as well. It's IndianRiverED.com right at the top. And there's a link to the SBDC site where the application is. So, but all the info is right there. And yeah, it's pretty easy and it's pretty user friendly, I have to say.
No, it is. It's really not. And again, for the most part, when we get applications in, they're 90% of them are ready to go, and they've got all the right components, parts, and pieces. But again, the most important thing I want people to know is, if you've got questions, if you've got an issue, again, scanning, understanding what you need to get, we're here to help you. So that's, I want to make sure people know that. And again, the program is there. And as you pointed out earlier, the county has upped the funding for another round of this, and it to the tune of $500,000. So let's folks, let's get together and let's get your application filled out.
And if I could share our phone number at the chamber too, anybody who needs to, help with scanning or whatever, call us at 567-3491, and you can ask for me, Helene, or you can ask for John. I'm kind of delegating a lot of this to John right now. So any rate, yeah, we're here to help and get this through and get everybody through all this stuff.
All right. Helene, thank you for everything you do, and thank you for the work that you're doing right now with the CARES Act Small Business Grant Program in Indian River County. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Small Biz Florida.
Thanks, Tom.